All right, this is page 9. This is the second movement of the Dvorak 7 still for the first violins. We're going to start on measure 79. We did the previous part of the page in the previous video, so you can go back to see that. So we're just going to go through this. This part coming up will be very similar to what we did on page 7, except we're going to kind of move up the strings. We're going to move up higher and higher instead of stay with our anchor there on our D flat like we did before. So I'm going to play this through slowly. I might not even do the bowings. I'll just do the separate bows so that you can hear those notes, and we can talk through the shifts and half steps and whole steps and everything. All right, so let's start at 79. So that's the same as we did on page 7, and this is where it gets a little bit different. So my anchor 1 will just come up a half step to that D. So that's okay. So D flats and C flats are all a little bit weird. You know, a D flat is a C sharp and a C flat is a B. So if you need to kind of get your point of reference there, you can play it an octave down. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so that one's the same as the previous one. Okay, we've gone up a little bit. Okay, you'll notice that those are just straight across, so 2, 2. Both of them are low 2s, an E flat and a B flat. Okay, and then this C that used to be a C flat in the previous measure is now a C natural, so that's a half step now. Okay, and your 2 from your E flat that it used to be is going up to an E natural. So this is a flat. So those are all half steps, 4, 3, and then 2, all close. Back up to the 3, a half step from that 2. And then, yeah, it's the same thing. We're going to just skip over to the E string on the same 3. And then we're just going to stretch our 4 up to get that E flat. And then that's going to shift our whole hand up to that. So instead of being in third position now, we're now jumped up there. And it's a half step for your 3. So 4, 3, half step. And then your 2 is going to be a half step again as well. Like we did before. So if we were just looking at the 16th notes, that's what's happening. It's just a half step higher. All of those are half steps between each other. Okay, and then this is the same thing. We're going to do our 3, stretch our 4 again, the same thing we did last time. And we're lucky we got half steps again. So same fingering. Okay, so that's all the same fingering, just going up a bit at a time and keeping the same intervals. Okay, however, on this next one, we don't do we jump up. And it's quite a bit of a jump, so you'll want to know how that sounds and really stretch for it. And I actually go up to the 3rd finger, so. And then that's a half step higher. That's a whole step between the 3 and the 2. And then I shift back down and put my 3 where my 2 was. So, yeah. hopefully that helps to hear it. I'm going to go ahead and play it in time with the bowings. This is probably the hardest part of the song. There's a few tricky parts with the counting, but this is the weirdest for the fingering and kind of keeping your point of reference. This is one to kind of get your fingering and play it a few times to really get it settled. So I'm going to start in measure 82. Okay, you may have noticed in measure 86, I wanted to jump up with my third finger instead of going straight across. So I need to kind of get it in my head that I'm just going to go straight across. So. And only on that last one am I going to jump up. So I'm going to do that one more time and see if I can get that jump, and then I think we're good with that and we can move on. So. Okay, all right. And that part there, it starts pianissimo where we started. There's a crescendo. I don't know that I did much of a crescendo because I was focused on the notes. But go ahead and crescendo in your fortissimo there. So yeah, you can just bring the intensity. Once you get the confidence of those fingerings, go ahead and play out and really hit that. And that will sound great. All right, so we're going on measure 90 now. So I'm just going to play these separate bows so we can get that scale going up. And then we'll play it in time. Again, don't let the 30-second notes get you down. We're going to do this, and it's really grouped in beats. You can see each slur is one beat, so you'll just fit those in there. So let's just play it on the scale first. So not too bad, it's just a scale. So let's do it slow in time with the slurs. Okay, I should probably turn on my metronome. But I don't think I'm going to right now. Go ahead and play this with your metronome. Turn it on. You can set it to eighth notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and see if you can play it with time. Go ahead and slow it down the first few times that you do it so you can get it in time with that, and then speed up your metronome. Let's see if I wrote down. I didn't write down what this is, but this says the quarter note is 56. So you might try that and see. That will probably be close. So I'm going to play it again in time. So 1 and 2 and. Okay, almost. Let's do it again. 1 and 2 and. Okay, so that transition between that third and fourth beat kind of get me. Sometimes I try and skip ahead to that last beat before I'm even there. so what helps me is to know what note I need to get to before that last beat starts. So that's that G, that second finger on the E string. So sometimes just playing that will get it a little bit, so you can get that first beat. Okay, and then playing just that beat a little bit, and then putting them together. So go ahead and play it as many times as you need. If that's too fast for you, go ahead and slow down. And really practice those shifts to get in there. If you feel like you're missing some of them as you go up, you may try and stop where you're missing. So let's say, that second shift I need to really practice. So stop where you need so you can see that you're hitting that note. Okay, and the rest is pretty easy. We'll finish it off. Now listen to the oboe here. The oboe has this solo. So I'm just going to kind of skip ahead. We'll just play the notes. Okay, so this is pianissimo, morendo, which means to die, to dying, then diminuendo even from that. So it's just kind of fading off into nothing. And that's the end of page 9. All right.